Defend the gates as a place of celebration. Hi, it's Lucas Scrobot, and you're listening to Weaver and Loom. For the past few days, we have been talking about burning our bridges, building our walls, and defending our gates. And it's probably in today's age and society so counterintuitive than from what we've been taught. We've been taught to open the gates and tear down the walls and build lots of bridges. But when we talk about building bridges, when we talk about burning bridges, we're not talking about rejecting everyone in our life or cutting off everything else in our life and becoming an island. What we're really talking about is burning down processes and ways of thoughts that are negative, that are harming, that are against our cultural norms, that's against the story of the culture that we have set as individuals, as families, and as communities. Some of these thoughts, these bridges that might be coming into our lives unwantedly would be thoughts of rejection. No one likes me. Everyone hates me. I'm rejected. Thoughts of loneliness or feeling that your identity is wrapped up as being the black sheep of the family. If you believe these things about yourself, if you believe that you are a victim in your world, then you will order your life accordingly without even knowing it. You will view everything that happens to you as a victim. Even if you're not, even if society is celebrating you, you will still believe that you are being victimized in society somehow because you have that root of belief, you have that bridge that is infiltrating your world, your mind, and your way of thinking without you wanting it to. You're allowing it to because the bridge is there, but it is definitely not serving you. It is definitely not helping you. Those are the sorts of bridges that we want to burn down, those mental strongholds that are undermining the destiny that we were born to live, the thing that we were born to fulfill. But today we are talking about defending the gates, and in defending the gates, there are a lot of things that happen at the city gates. We talked about before that the city gates are a sacred place in ancient Mesopotamia and Babylon, which is Babylon, means the gate of God, that they would have their spiritual rituals and sacrifices right there in the city gates. And the city gates represent a sacred space for the community. Another thing that happens in the sacred space is that we have monuments and mementos, so that we can remember the things of old. We can remember what happened to our forefathers and what pillars we have placed in the ground as a community to say, this is who we are, this is what defines us, and this is what acts as guideposts to help us move forward into the future. And it's a story that we pass down to generation after generation. Another thing that happens in the city gates, it is a gathering for celebration. It is a place for public performance and rituals, and in the ancient days for military parades and demonstrations. Now, what this is really talking to translate it into our modern era would be the realm of arts and entertainment and celebration. So in the arts industry, in the entertainment industry, it is doing something similar to what a monument would do, in that it's telling a story and weaving a narrative, but it's also celebrating. It's a spirit of celebrating these cultural norms and these cultural pillars. If we look throughout our films, we can see what the culture is actually celebrating. When we look throughout the music industry, we can have a glimpse to see what is the culture of today actually celebrating. What are they singing about? What are they focusing on? So in our lives as individuals, in our families, and in our businesses, we need to adopt and develop cultures of celebration. And I know for me, you can ask my wife, I am a very focused person and I put most of my energy into my work, and I really struggle at stopping and celebrating at those mile points, or even celebrating my family at those mile points. But if we're parents, man, we need to publicly praise and celebrate our children. We need to publicly put them on pedestals in front of our family and reward them for when they're succeeding, for when they are doing well. Likewise, in a company, we need to have times of celebration, whether it's celebrating individuals or celebrating cultural milestones within our company or within our brand. And we can see this happen in nations. We have Independence Days. We have cultural holidays where the entire nation takes the day off and they go and they celebrate, whether it's the founding of a nation or a birthday of a sheikh or a president. We can even see the sacred sphere coming a little bit, rightly so, into the sphere of celebration where maybe we're celebrating Ramadan or we're celebrating Eid. And these are times within our culture where we're stopping and we're remembering and we're celebrating foundational pieces and cornerstones of who we are as a culture. So the exercise for today is, again, these 3 steps. We're going to reflect and meditate and write down what are some of the cultural frameworks or the stories that we celebrate that are happening in a ritualistic basis. So in my family, we take Fridays off and we celebrate that as a family. It's a time to come together and spend as a family, and there's a ritual in it. Every Friday night, we cook a meal together. We cook pizza together as a family, and then we sit and we watch a movie. And that whole day, we're normally doing a lot of fun things together. We go to church, or other people might go to mosque on a Friday. So this is part of those ritualistic rhythms and celebrations of coming together. Another thing would be birthday parties. What are the rituals you're establishing for the birthdays for your kids or for your employees, or anniversaries for your company? How are you celebrating the milestones of your company, of your brand? How are you celebrating for an individual? Are you recognizing the milestones that you have? And this needs to be not just on a yearly basis, but social psychologists say that even every 2 weeks, there should be some sort of rhythm of celebration within an organization. So that's organization, family, or individual. Even in a nation, there needs to be some sort of rhythm of celebration for people to have motivation and to feel bonded, appreciated, connected moving forward. So take some time and meditate and think about some of the ways that you have been and some of the ways that you want to be celebrating your community, celebrating those around you and your own personal achievements. Next, take some time and begin to reflect in where have you excelled and done well in celebrating those around you, and where have you fallen short in celebrating those around you. Now, as you sit and meditate, just reflect, take some time. And as things come to your heart or come to your mind, write them down and be brutally honest with yourself. This is a time to be brutally honest. It's a time to see where are those bridges that are coming in? Where are the areas of our walls that have fallen down that we've neglected celebrating people? The third and most important step, it is making decisive action in creating a plan moving forward, writing it down, making it visible, and deciding where, when, and what. Where are you going to have the celebration? We're going to have it in our home. We're going to have it at the park. We're going to have it in the office. When and what? How are you going to do it? You need to put an action plan to this. Otherwise, it just becomes more stuff that's filling up here, and it's not translating to your hands, which is the transformational aspect of putting our hands to the loom, putting our hands to the work to weave our own destiny. It requires our action. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. Remember that if you go to the website, you can download a free PDF that gives a framework that goes through all these different steps and help you build your own personal or family or organizational constitution, your cultural constitution that you can put on your wall, and you can remind yourself every day, this is where I'm going and why. And these are my rhythms. And it's so important to do, to remind yourself on a daily basis. Also, if you have any questions, I would love to hear them. Please email me, DM me. You can find me at lucasskrobot, LucasSkrobot.com, and click the appropriate button to send me a question. Until next time, on Weaver and Loom, where you weave your destiny. Wait, that's not right. Until next time, thank you for listening to Weaver and Loom, where destiny is woven.